Hey, welcome. In this demo, I'm going to show how to bring your JSON data from your database that you downloaded into a spreadsheet and then create line charts. So here's kind of the end goal. We have all of our data in the spreadsheet, and then see there are line charts here. This is my light sensor with the date timestamps. And if it refreshes, there, humidity as well. So let's start from the beginning. So I have my JSON file that I got from the database. You got this through Postman. I have it here. So let's take a look at the content first, which I encourage you to do just to see what's inside of it. So here is mine. I'm going to open it up in VS Code. And you could see that it's kind of neatly formatted. Each of these sections here is one record that was uploaded loaded to the database. So in this case, it was 33.6 humidity, temperature was 26.6. The next upload 10 minutes later was 27.19. You get the gist. You can see the timestamp here. So looks like we got data here. So now how do we bring this into a spreadsheet? So first thing you want to do is launch Excel. And you don't just open a JSON file just like a file. You actually have to bring it in as data. So we're going to click on the data field tab here. Say get data, hover over from file, and choose from JSON. Click on that. Now I'm going to go to that file that I just looked at, my JSON file. I'm going to import it. Okay, so there's a few things you need to do here. You have to tell it, Excel, what part of the data you want to bring in. So here's a few steps. Follow along with me. The first thing we want to do is say to table. So click on that. Just select the default. Now we're going to hover over this and click on this little icon here. This is going to let us select which columns we want to bring in. So I already know that I don't do battery. I don't do any floats. I don't need the ID. I don't need a key, but I know I have humidity. I don't need device ID. Oh, actually, we do use that. So let's leave that in. So whatever you know has data, leave those in and then select the rest out. We do use string one. Time created and updated in our case are the same thing. So let's just use time created. I do have username. I may have vibration and I don't have water level. And leave that as default, say okay. And now double check your columns. And don't worry if you have one that maybe didn't have any data. We could clean that up later too. So I'll do close and load. Now it finally loads the data into our spreadsheet. So now we have it in the spreadsheet. We're going to take a look at the stuff again here. So no vibration. So I know I don't need that, so I'm just going to delete that. Username's not that interesting to me because it's all the same data. I already know this is just my username, so I'm going to delete that. Let's see what else. Temperature, motion, light. Then my device ID doesn't matter. If I had multiple devices, it might matter, but in my case, I only have one. And my column area, it's all the same. So if it's a single room area, no difference. I could take that out. Okay, so this is kind of the interesting ones that I have. String one we use as our phase in our project phase, the project phase that we're in. So I'm going to leave that because it has different values. Okay, so now I have this in a spreadsheet. I'm going to save it just so I don't lose all this work. Name it whatever you want. Okay, so now we have the data, and how do we make a chart from this? Okay, I'm not an Excel expert, and there's probably easier way to do this, but here's the way I found that was reliable. Go to Insert, Choose the table. So we want line charts in our case. And I like the ones with dots on markers on them. So I'm going to choose that. And now that we have this, it's going to ask us, there's going to be this option. You should be in chart design. And we're going to select the data. Okay. So this is going to be the sensor data that we want to show. And this will be the horizontal, the dates and times. So let's add a series. The series name is actually what we want the label to be. So I'm going to select, it's going to let me select the series name, and my series name is just this. Let's do humidity. So I'm going to say this is going to be the name of my um, y-axis data. Hit enter. And now I have to give it the value. So this is pulling in the name. Now I need to select, tell it which values to pull. So I'm going to take the first element, scroll all the way down. I like to hold the shift button to select everything. Hit enter. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Select that. Go all the way to the bottom. One more. One more. There, 58. So you see it's going from 2 to 58. Hit enter. Say OK. And now we're going to do the same with the horizontal, but we don't need to give it a name. We just have to give it the range of data. So in this case, I go here. I don't need to select the label. Scroll down, hold shift, hit click OK. Now click OK. There you go. There's your chart. So you would just repeat this for the other columns. Like if I wanted to do temperature, instead of humidity, I would choose the temperature label, and then I'd choose all the temperature data. And then for the horizontal axis, I would create the time. Yeah, and that's about it.